Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 2 of the infamous Throne Room. Here today in the room, we got man himself. Y'all know him as, I really don't know what y'all know him as. But he goes by the stage name 101, meaning he's still got a lot of lessons to learn about life. And for some reason, he just can't graduate. You know, but
stupid.
How you doing, man? How you been?
I'm straight, man. Straight.
Yeah?
You know what I'm saying? Life is a garden. Dig it?
Is
You know?
it?
Yeah.
You really brought some Joe Dirt in this. Okay, there we go. If that tells you guys anything about him, you know, that should tell you. Hey, what happened with the R&B album, man? Like we saw the post was put out, and we was trying to find the tracks everywhere. I couldn't find it at all.
Okay, so my Grammy-nominated R&B album, which was quite made up at first.
Hey, them tracks were slapping though. Like I know you played a couple for me. They were slapping. They were slapping.
You know, it came into manifestation without my knowing, and then apparently it became Grammy nominated and viral. So now I kind of have no choice but to make an R&B album. I've been working on my singing a little bit,
There
but you know, that ain't gonna quite cut it. 'Cause if I was to go on to American Idol, I would get put on the blooper reel. So,
Hey, those are the best ones though.
yeah.
I love
Not
those
for
ones.
making a career, if that were, you know.
It depends on what career you're going for. If it's comedy, hey,
I'ma definitely get it.
you got it. If it was music,
Oh my god.
backup plan.
Yeah, I guess you're
Backup
right.
plan.
But no, I am gonna work on an R&B album. Fuck it, you know what I mean? I got some shit in the works, you know.
I mean,
when you've done certain things in your career, you know, you're always trying to look for that next thing to do. I'm a very multi-talented person, so when I started laughing at myself about the R&B album, I was like, you know what? Why not make the hater mad? The hater being me. So I'm gonna have to make a sick ass little R&B album.
as long as it's Grammy nominated,
Only.
you got to live up to the hype of the first one.
Yeah, only.
You know,
Yeah.
if you can't live up to the hype, don't do it.
And if Limitless Visuals doesn't do the photo shoot for it, I'm not gonna do it, because they have to get those perfect angles.
Because for some odd reason, they're the only ones who can get good sides of you.
He always catches me in my what the fuck is he thinking moments. You know?
Facts.
So
I've seen them. They're pretty interesting.
they're
If you guys haven't seen The Duck, I greatly suggest that you go check out his page.
It's my duck, man.
And see The Duck.
I'm the only one in Wichita that was able to hug a riverside duck. So
Facts. There was a during what you guys don't know, during A Royal Affair, which was a show that was put on by Limitless Royalty brand, that was produced by Midwest Shakedown. We did something that, for one, has never been done before in the city, and it was pretty great. But we had a full-on commercial, and this dude asked for a dragon.
now look, all right, I'm a creative individual. Okay, so they fucked up and asked, because we were doing a green screen, and they said, what do you want as your background? I think someone said bricks. I think another person, you know, said something about some street lights, you know, stars. Very great concepts, okay? Now, when they go to 101 and they ask an individual as myself for things like that, I'm going to give you an answer, okay? But it ain't going to be nothing you expecting. Alright, and when they asked, what do you want behind your green screen? I said a dragon. Ripping the head off of a lion. You know what I mean? We didn't get the lion, per se, but we got the dragon.
He literally did. He literally did ask for this. And, hey, in the end, though, you did get your dragon.
I got my dragon.
He did get his dragon. So, in case anybody was wondering, that was one of the unforeseen clips that...
Definitely a director's cut moment.
It was definitely a director's cut. You know, that... We really did do something with A Royal Affair. And it's very interesting to me how that was, what, 2-3 years ago? Like, it'll be 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And to this day, nobody's done anything.
I feel like there's a lot of shows that go on, but they get very diluted with doing the same thing at all the shows. And what I liked about the Royal Affair is, one, they had the commercial, which we were able to promo. They even had a separate promo for it that we were able to promo, which kind of kept people a little bit interested in it. The event itself was very fancy, you know, which there's not a whole lot of shows in the town are just shows. People show up to them, people rap on stage. Cool, you know. The Royal Affair had like giveaways. I can't remember exactly, but I think a couple T-shirts got given away.
Like some T-shirts, some hats, some tickets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were the first in town to really sell tickets besides any cotillion shows. It was a pre-sale ticket kind of deal, and all the artists kind of sold out of their tickets. So it was a good show, and like I said, it was fancy. You know, I liked that factor. If it was my style, I would have showed up in a suit. Is how fancy it was, sipping on some Courvoisier in a wine glass, doing this the entire time, just swishing it around.
Every part of that brought up an episode of CSI Play a Ball.
Yes.
And it was a sad episode.
Yeah.
It was a sad episode. So, man, we gotta know.
Okay.
There's been a lot of he say, she say, hearsay, they say about the baby mama. I know you haven't so much got to tell your side of it, and I applaud you. You kind of sat back a little bit. You know, you've said things here and there, but you kind of sat back a little bit. You know, let who's ever gonna talk.
Right.
But what happened? Like what? Cause I love Liam. We all love Liam.
102.
That's 102. Apparently he graduated, where, you know, his dad couldn't. But you know, that's another story. I saw his hair, and I'm used to seeing Liam with just long golden locks.
Yeah.
And then I see him and like his hair was cut. And I heard something about it, but I didn't hear the full story.
Well, you know, in my family, the recent tradition was to kind of grow the boy's hair out long as you can, until they decide they want it cut. So yeah, he had long hair, and I mean I have long hair right now, but his was quite longer, and yeah, everybody loved it. I mean, it was right when, you know, everybody wants to grow their kids' hair out, but a lot of people don't follow through on it. You know, I did. Just a situation in being a bitter baby mama, and basically what had happened was just her being bitter and taking that anger out on my son, uh, just to get to me. So, you know, I guess the situation with it would be that life doesn't always work out the way you want it, and I love hard, and I fall a little bit harder. So what it came down to was I thought I loved somebody, and it turned out that when my son was born, I realized what love actually was, and some people can't handle that when you fall out of that, and as a man, you just want to work on things and make things work out. You want things to work out, not in a controlling manner, but you want, what's the words for it, man? You want things to be different.
Right.
Things weren't changing, so I kind of had to separate myself. In a way, it was hard to separate, because like I said, once you find that love, you want to keep it, and
because I saw you during a pretty dark time.
yeah, she decided to find her love in another man's arms. As men, we don't take that very easy.
Right.
So, I had a bad streak. Everybody knows I struggle with addiction issues, and those kind of manifested when that tragedy happened, and I wasn't able to see my son a lot. Just whenever she wanted me to see him, and as a man who loves his kid, that really sucked. I spent long nights not sleeping, thinking of what was happening with him, thinking about how he was going to get raised, who he was going to get raised around. The choices she was making in her life weren't productive, and were definitely going south, and I could see Liam picking up on those and not.
Mm-hmm.
He was only 3, in between this transition of 2 and 3 at this time, and it wasn't something that I wanted to reflect on for the rest of his life. So, after about a year, I got my shit together, and I had to do things different. So I had to start with cutting the addictions. I cut those completely off. When you're doing things for your kids, you're able to do things cold turkey, and I was very able to do that.
Right.
I ended up not wanting to be in a relationship for a while. I wanted to work on things and make sure that I was going to be able to treat another woman great. I ended up.
You were able to find that, right?
I was able to find that through the process. It was like when I gave up on looking for it. It fell in my lap, and I met a beautiful woman named Madeline, and she was able to
see what you couldn't.
Yes, and the pain I felt, I was shoving down, and she noticed that.
Because even your music changed that.
Yeah. I've always had a struggle in my life, but when it came to the music, I wasn't quite finding that hit, what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to see, and the vision that I wanted to manifest. But through the dark times, I was able to write some better music and really give the people a bit of my soul.
Right.
And it worked out. People are able to connect to my stuff a little bit more. I would say that my fan base is not really a hip hop banger fan base. You won't hear me getting spin in the club very much. You won't you won't hear me on lyrical things anymore, even though that's what I'm known for. You'll find that I connect with people and people that are going through some dark times. I get messages all the time from fans, about what they're going through. They feel like they can talk to me, and I talk back. I'm still a local artist, so I'm able to message people back on a regular basis, and it's a lot of people going through some things, and
right.
they can live vicariously through my music.
Mm-hmm. They're able to actually connect with the person who's going through similar things that they are. Because
in my music, I don't talk about specifically what it is I go through. I mention some things, but I wanna talk more about how to get out of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So when people hear that, they can put a little light to themselves and realize, like, damn, I can go through it too. I can get out of it, and so it's a winning mind state. You gotta separate yourself from the loss. It takes a lot of losses to create a win. Right. So that's what I go through, and I actually love the music I'm making lately. If I ever get down and out, I can listen to it and just feel it and remember where I was.
There you go.
And
so I've heard a lot of your new tracks, and I mean I like them. I fucks with them pretty good, and I could tell that they came from a different place. They came from a different spot from how your earlier music prior to that was. Yeah. And I actually am looking forward to seeing how you transition into this new chapter of your life, and seeing how your music evolves and grows with you.
Yeah.
With that said, the battle between you and Kush Powers.
That battle was like 2 years ago, and
Don't
I
matter.
still have people that come up to me and talk about that fucking battle.
So this is my thing. First of all, you were sponsored by Limitless Royalty Brand. Shout out. This was my question, because there was some controversy, a little bit. There's a little bit of controversy.
There was a lot of controversy behind that battle.
They were saying that Kush got you. They were saying that Kush got you. I was there with you. I was on stage with you.
Yeah.
And I still remember we were weeks leading up to the battle. We was at the house, going back and forth. I throw out random things just to get in your head, and all types of stuff. Like there was what people don't know. There was some preparation leading up to that.
What people don't know is if you can sit in the same room as the owner of Limitless Royalty and not get your feelings hurt, you're actually doing things right. You know what I mean? So it took a lot of backlash from my good friend and sponsor, Mr. Terrence. So when you can get scrutinized on everything you're about to say to this man, and he give you honest opinion, you can make it. I promise. Anybody can make it. Anything you go through. So yeah, battle was it was intense. I think it just like started out as somebody made a status, and we were two popping artists at the time, and they wanted to see who would win out of a battle of us. Now I didn't know what that meant. First off, I never battle rap before, so I was kind of nervous, as it were. I didn't quite know what I was doing, honestly. There were things on social media said. There was rumors going around the town. People were fucking each other's bitches. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And some shit out. And I now there's still controversy about it, you know. When we went in for the battle, he definitely had a good little hype presence.
He did.
When he first started.
That was funny.
Me, I'm from a different place in life, so you know, killers are quiet where I'm from. So I took that as my strategy. I stood in the back, you know, and I was quiet, you know. I wanted to observe, you know what I mean. I wanted him to get his little shit out.
So in your opinion, did he beat you?
First off, in my opinion, everyone's opinion, the judges' opinions, the audience's opinions, absolutely not. Okay?
No.
Kush is a great dude, and he's got his artistry and everything like that. However, don't compete with mine. If you try and compete with me at anything, I guarantee you're gonna lose every time.
Every time.
There was discrepancies on the first round. He came out of I won the coin toss. I let him go first. I wanted him to go ahead and get it out. He said what he had to say. Most of what he was saying had basically nothing to do with me. Talking about my alcoholic dad, who's not an alcoholic, nor do I give a shit what you say about my dad. But he was getting a good little crowd reaction out of that, so he ran with it.
So I remember the second round, they hit him for freestyling it.
Well, see, what had happened was in the first round. In the first round, I let him go first.
Right.
And then he had his fun. He thought he was good. But I came out quite a bit better. And from hearing my voice, it seemed like he got a little intimidated. Crowd reaction kind of turned south. Like I said, preempting to the battle, everybody was going for Kush.
They were.
Everybody thought Kush was gonna kill me in this one.
They did.
Because I'm a lyrical rapper. I was a metaphorical rapper at the time, and it wasn't. Like I said, there ain't much I can't do. That's where the one-on-one came from. Once I get into something, I get it. And when I came out the gate on my first round, he was not ready for anything I was about to say, nor was the crowd. But they all kind of turned their heads and was like, oh, 101 is kind of good. And
you're welcome.
So, and I looked good, okay? I had the Limitless Royalty sponsorship going on. I was wearing the hat, the shirt, and
looking fly.
I was looking good,
Looking
okay?
fly.
And
so here's another question about the battle.
Okay.
What was the most surprising battle of that night?
Like the whole night?
The whole night.
Like the most surprising battle?
Yeah.
Like besides me and Kush's battle?
Of course.
The Rello and Zealous Superstar battle. But you know what? It wasn't like surprising so much because we all know sorry, not Rello, Mello. Mello is a great battle rapper. I actually got to know him a little bit better, and he's actually a great dude individually. Zealous Superstar had a god complex that he was just the greatest that ever existed at anything he did. If he trimmed his fingernails, he was the greatest that ever did it, and he knows how to do it better than anyone else. So when he stepped into that battle, I already kind of saw a dog out about to happen, and it wasn't but one bar into what Zealous had to say that everybody kind of realized the same fucking thing. Like, I don't think we should be here for this murder. And the first round didn't go very well for him. But like I said, the God Complex really stepped in. And when the second round came about,
I forgot there was a second round.
he decided to repeat what he said in the first round because apparently nobody heard him. And so
Did he repeat the whole thing?
he repeated the entire thing.
Yeah.
And that also didn't go very well for him. And then they decided it was a slaughter and they cut it. And he decided to go back up and do like 2 or 3 freestyle bars. And then Mello hit him with 2 or 3 freestyle bars. Mello had the better crowd reaction. Kind of killed him a little bit. So, you know, that night really solidified people for what they were. You know.
So would you do? Would you defend your belt? Cause you was the headliner that night. Would you defend that title or
Against just Kush or anybody?
I mean anybody. I mean if we need to set it up with Kush, you being called out for round 2. He's saying that you wasn't shit. He's saying that he could beat you any day of the week. You name the time and date and place, and he will beat you. I'm just letting you know what he said. That, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, instigations brought to you by the owner of Limitless Royals.
You know, that's all I'm doing. I'm just letting it be known. You know.
I would not have any problem defending that title. I actually had quite a number of major battle rappers in the town kind of hit my box after that and was like, hey, what if you and me went at it?
So we need to set up round 2 then. You need to defend that. Is this going to turn into Freestyle Fridays?
You know, I have no problem defending that title, honestly.
I mean, we could pull out some Freestyle Fridays from 106 and Park days. You know,
like Rap City in the basement type shit.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Hey, so we you know we gonna go ahead and do that. We gonna do that. Hey man, it was great having you on the show. You know you're gonna be back. You already know this. You know.
Anytime.
Hopefully you graduate by then and become 202. But you know, braids is too tight.
Nah, man, fuck it, man. Shout out Limitless Royalty, Limitless Visuals, the Throne Room, Till The Death Records, my family at home for supporting me every day. It's life is too beautiful, you know, to be looking at the fucking dead grass. You know what I mean? Just fertilize it and get it taken care of. Anytime y'all need me on the show, man, I'll come back. Until further notice, the birth of a Boondock Saint, the growth of a Boondock Saint on its way out.
R&B album coming.
The R&B album is after that. We got plenty more music videos coming out. I'm definitely worried about keeping the fans in tune. So, you know, we got a lot of things in store. So, you know, I'm just happy that everybody's with me and rocking with me toward all this shit. And, you know, let's get it together. Let's live life together. You know what I mean?
Appreciate everybody. We'll see you soon. See ya.